Welcome to the Wholeness and Wellness podcast. I'm your host, Megan Toops, founder of Libra Living Wellness Limited, and this is episode 11, and it's called Purposeful Passion. Little tongue twister there. How living your passion transforms your wellness. And I'm so excited for this episode. My guest today is Maria. And I was telling Maria before this that I've had this episode created from the beginning before I even did my first episode. And I was so excited and I had her in mind for this. And I was like, I can't wait to do this episode. So um, I have, again, Maria on here as a guest today. So, Maria, I still remember the first time I met you when I was working at Magma and we were still in the old part of the building. And I had just started working in pre-employment and I met with you. And I remember meeting you and thinking, oh my gosh, if I had my own business and I could hire someone, I would hire her. From the minute I met you, I was like, I wish I could hire her right now. And yeah, that was, I don't remember, that was years ago now, at least 3 for sure, but I think even more. I feel like it was more, like I kind of want to say it was 2021. That's what's popping in my head right now. So yeah, we've met there as you were a client first for pre-employment, and then you started working at Magma, so we were coworkers. And yeah, we've kind of kept in touch throughout the time of me leaving Magma too. And yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy, like how long it's been. Um, so, Maria, yeah, tell us a little bit about you, about what it is you do, what you're currently do, and what you're currently working on.
Hey, all right. That was amazing. Yes, that was the first time we met. Okay, again, my name is Maria Lima. For now, I work at Magma. That's my full-time job. I'm originally from Brazil, but I've been here in Canada for about 10 years. Oh my God, time goes by so fast. And yes, I know you since 2021 when I was looking for work. So you were the employment counselor. That was really incredible to remember. So today I work at Magma as a cultural facilitator. So I've been doing training about diversity, about how you can welcome the diverse group of people in your workplace. But I've done a lot of different things. I started as a receptionist, and then I worked for the settlement department for about 4 years, I would say.
Wow.
And I did
Yeah.
volunteer as well, like volunteer management.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's a long journey. So would you like, because my story has to go in a linear way, so we can get to the purpose of our conversation about
Yes, because that's
passion
definitely
and
for
where this
sure.
thing.
I was thinking the same thing. So, I always have guests say a fun fact or something interesting about yourselves before we start.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
So, fun
a,
fact.
a fun fact. I think I have an interesting thing that, a few interesting things that I'll start with the one that I'm really excited right now, but uh, I wrote a script, a feature script for a
Mhm.
film. And that story comes back from Brazil and from my classroom. That's when I got the inspiration. And it's
Mhm.
about a South Korean friend of mine. So we grew
Okay.
up together. And I wrote the script, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. And I keep looking for opportunities where I can, present my work.
Yes.
And the city of Seoul, which is the main city in South Korea, has a program for people from outside Korea that writes about their culture.
Okay.
And the script is there now. If I'll be chosen by then, the
Yeah.
script has been approved. But if I've been chosen by then, I will be able to go to South Korea for a month and develop my film. I'm so excited about this, but I don't have
Gosh,
the answer yet. But the
yeah.
good thing is that they accepted it, so
Okay.
I'm so confident that at least I have the skills. That's not fun,
That's
but I think
wow.
it's
Yeah. So that's amazing. Like that's definitely I know like we haven't chatted in a while and I knew like there was lots going on for you, but that's some exciting news.
yeah, that's
Awesome.
pretty
Awesome.
new.
You'll have
I'm
to
gonna
let me
have the
know.
answer by the end of May, so yeah, I'll keep
Okay.
my fingers.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, today, which kind of leads into what our topic is, like we're talking about purposeful passion, living your passion and how it affects your wellness. Like, um, I've, you know, I know when throughout my life when I have not been living what my true passion is. And I will say, sometimes it takes a while to find what that is for sure. But I know when I have not been living my passion versus now living my passion, huge difference in my wellness. And again, we're going to kind of dive into that a little bit more. But, um, being able to kind of live our passion and live what our soul desires to do, living our purpose in life, it I find it energizes us so much. Like it's, you know, I could probably I'm so excited for this episode. I feel like I have so many words that I probably can't talk properly. So yeah, let's dive in. And Maria, tell us about what you're passionate about, what your passion is.
Okay, my passion is art. It has been probably since when I was born. My actual background is on business administration. That's what I've been working in Brazil for a long time. But I always loved cinema, pictures, and writing. So I would say write was the first thing ever. But I don't have a literature background, you
Mhm.
know. And then I was a bit afraid about writing because,
Mhm.
wow, you should be careful here, right? It's not your real field. But what happened was, I think it was in 2015 that I started writing and writing and writing. And then at some point, I was like, okay, I'm going to create a blog because I think that I can publish a few things. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm not a writer. What people are going to think about it? And
Yeah.
then at some point, I was like, you know what? That's for me. Those are my stories. If people don't want to read it or if people don't like it, that's their loss.
Yeah.
Because writing for me, journaling, it's something that I need to do in a daily basis. It's like talking to a therapist
Mhm.
kind of thing, right? So I
Yeah.
write how my day was, I write the things that I struggle during the days. And then when I read it at the next day, I see what happened, and then I can try to make my new day better and see
Yeah.
where I can make it better. So my blog became my go-to. So I still have the blog,
Nice.
but I only write about the things that I love. So the blog
Mhm.
is, my mental health tool to
Yep.
be happy. And so everything that I love is in there. I can share it. I don't know if I ever shared my blog with you, but I can share with you later.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah, for
mental
sure.
health. I have things about football, soccer. I have things about South Korean dramas, about cinema, about the things that I really enjoy. And I think that from my love for writing, this is where I started changing my day to day. When I started working at Magma, we are in touch with so many different stories, right? From diverse people, from refugees. And then I started writing a book about those stories. So every day that, we listen to so many different narratives. And then I started writing that. And at some point, I think it was about 3 years ago, yeah, I I was like, you know what? This should be a documentary because immigration is something really new here in the province. I think Canada has a long history about immigration, especially in the bigger provinces. But this is quite new for New Brunswick because I think it really started with the Syrian crisis back in 2016 or something like that. So I was thinking, we need to highlight the stories because we have people with lots of skills arriving here and doing things that people have no idea. So I decided to put this in a project to create a documentary. I presented at Magma. Magma loved the project, but it's a governmental funding
Mhm.
nonprofit, so there's no money for this.
Yeah.
But I never stopped, right? I started looking here, looking there, and trying to learn my more about the craft because I'm not a filmmaker. I never did anything like this. And then I started doing trainings here and there. And then I applied for a cohort last year from Doc Canada. Doc Canada is the big association for documentaries. Every
Hmm.
filmmaker in Canada would be part of this organization, and I proposed then this short documentary series that I was thinking about. They loved the idea, and then I entered the cohort, which is amazing because I was in touch with filmmakers, with producers. I could learn a lot about the business,
Wow.
and just to finish this part, the cohort is ending April 30th, which is my birthday.
Hey,
But from
nice.
April 26th to April 30th, will be in Toronto because it's going to be a huge documentary festival, the biggest festival in North America. It's not only Canada, it's called Hot Docs. And I'll be
Okay.
participating and I'll be pitching my documentary. My documentary is called
Awesome.
Crossing Borders.
Mhm.
And so, from my writing passion, from my art passion, watching movies, watching series, watching documentaries, I ended up finding my way in this, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's where my passion came from.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
love
I
that.
can't
Like,
wait until maybe one day I can be just working on documentaries. Who knows, right?
yeah. Yeah, I remember you sharing this, with me last year, and it was just so exciting to hear about that. And then now hearing about this opportunity in Seoul too is like everything. And I find, like I was saying earlier, sometimes it takes us a while to really figure out what our true passion is. And it takes a while for us to say, okay, I'm going to fully embrace this passion. And when what's so cool and exciting, and I'm going to try not to cry here, is that when you find your passion and you embrace it, like look at all the stuff that's happening for you. Like I'm sure like a few years ago, you would have never thought that these things would have happened to you and you'd be where you are now. And it's like it just kind of like warms my heart to hear of your successes.
Thank you. Yeah,
And
I was gonna say that I never in my wildest dream I would imagine having my picture and my name at Hot Docs, right? One of the
that's
biggest
so cool.
documentary, and I'll be at TIFF, which is Toronto International Festival as well. I would never imagine something like that, right?
That's amazing. Like, that's so
Uh,
cool. Like,
I'm excited.
um,
I'm really excited. Writing is something that I love, that I do in my daily basis. And one thing that I also love to share with people whenever I can is that everyone has a story, and every single person is so original, right? So my story is different than anyone else. So
yeah,
whenever you're thinking about the creative process, or if you're in the creative industry, be original. That's the thing that makes you happy, and
yeah,
that's what um TVs and shows and I don't know, streaming companies like Netflix, they're looking for this. They want to see original stories.
yes. I love that you say that because as I was kind of mentioning to you before that you know my journey with starting my business a bit and kind of a little bit about my passion. And recently I've gotten really clear on what is it that really just makes me feel excited and lights me up. And it was creating content, like creative. Like I love that creative outlet. And anytime I'm creating content, like for podcasts, or when I was creating my coaching content or my wellness sessions, that was the part I liked the most. Now, it's not to say that I don't enjoy sharing it with others and doing sessions, but I much rather create the content for
See?
people because that's where I'm most excited. And I'm also, plan on working on a book. I've had that, as a thing few years ago, and recently met with someone. She was on the podcast who has her own publishing company, so that's in the gonna be in the works for sure soon. But yeah, so I just got really clear, and I was like, I love to create content. I want to do more of that. So I'm looking at how to, again, the content I've already created and putting it online for people to access, right? So but yeah, just getting really clear with and following that passion of what really lights you up. And that's it. And you know, sure there's sometimes things that we have to do that aren't like exciting, right? Like you mentioned, you would love to just be doing this, like the how exciting that's going to be. But I feel like you are so close to that because I feel like ever since, you started doing that and was into this program that you recently did, like, I mean, like I said, I feel like things open up, doors open up for you when you are doing your passion. Those kind of like blessings and those things are kind of unfolded for you because you're living in your true passion and living your truest self, like where your soul is completely like in its element. So it opens those doors for you that normally you may not see, right? So I think that's really exciting. And like I said, I love this. I love talking about this. So let's get into a little bit about struggles that you've had with making your passion a reality. I know like you're kind of in the midst of doing things right now, things are happening, but what are some struggles that have come up for you?
I think the first struggle when I published my first post, because I was like, should I be doing this or not?
Mm.
I was thinking about what other people were thinking. That was the
Like
first struggle.
self-doubt.
Right. So should I? Also, there was something else on my mind because my first language is Portuguese. And well, when I really started posting things, I was here in Canada. So I started writing in English. And that was something that I was like, also, should I be doing this? But the funny thing, maybe it's a funny thing you asked me. Now I feel like I'm writing better in English than Portuguese. For some reason, I think that maybe English is easier. But the other struggle is, make money out of art, right?
Yes.
When you change, when you pivot your career, it's hard to make money out of it, right? So that's
Absolutely. Yeah.
why this opportunity in Toronto is interesting, because I'll be able to pitch, try to sell my idea
Yes.
to other people or people in the business. I think that's the biggest struggle, right? Sometimes I
Yeah.
apply for funds and I got weird answers, no, things like, okay, I'm not gonna fund this because you never got money before for being an artist.
Mm.
But that's redundant, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't get a chance. How am I gonna get money out of it,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
I never give up. Never give up.
Yeah.
I keep telling people this: never give up. So if you want to
Yeah.
do it, keep going, keep going, keep going, until at some point something has to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's interesting, like, because when you were saying that, I was thinking, like, okay, that person gave you a response. And I feel like sometimes it's hard in the moment. You think, oh man, you kind of feel that disappointment. But on the other, and we've talked about like perspective and things before too. Um, but on the other side of it, you can say, well, there's a better opportunity that's coming. It just, that wasn't the right opportunity for me,
Maybe.
right? So it's like trying to change our perspective of that. And like that's been something uh I've been facing myself, from what my first vision of was from my business to where I am now. It has changed and pivoted so much. And I could kind of feel disappointment in a way, but I also, like, recently, like I was telling you earlier too, I feel like a weight has lifted. I feel like I have so much more clarity because I feel like I'm more aligned with what my soul wants now. And it's not to say like my first vision wasn't a good vision. Like, it was exciting, it was great, but it wasn't in complete alignment. So I think there was a lot of struggle with it, and some things didn't feel quite right. And ever since I've kind of been making the shift, like I said, I feel a lot lighter, even though I'm worried. As you said, like, creating and doing these things and making money is
Yes,
kind of like that struggle, that worry in our
yes.
minds. So,
We need to pay
um,
the bills at the end of the day, right?
exactly, exactly. So yeah, that I agree with that struggle you mentioned, because I'm facing that now for sure. Um, but yeah, I think when you have your passion, and like you said, just keep moving forward, keep trying, and letting that your passion really ignite you through those worries. I feel like that's what I've been trying to do too, is like, it's been a challenging new year, very challenging. And today I kept feeling excited, and I'm like, my other side of me, because our inner critic, our inner voice
Right.
or negative voice that we have, is like, why are you excited right now? Like, you need to make money. Like, where, like, you're ending your program soon, your end. You need to make money. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm excited. Like, I just was feeling excited because I have a clear vision of my passion and what it is I want to do. And I don't know, I was like, just letting that excitement take over me in a way, so that way I don't feel the stress. I don't feel the worries. It's still there, but I can kind of move, past it.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes things happen and we don't understand at the moment. But
yes.
when time passes a little bit, we always, there's always a reason why some
Yeah,
things that, it don't go the way that we are expecting. But at the end of
totally.
the day, when you start thinking, oh, now I understand, right? And that's the thing you said about passion, because yeah, we do need to pay the bills, but we can keep doing what we like to do, right?
Mhm.
We need to have that hope that at one day it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
looking for opportunities, right? There's no one told me about this documentary cohort that I was searching, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. This is something that I think I can do it. I love films. I know how to do it. I've been following lots of famous directors, and
Yeah.
I think I have an idea. I think I can do it. And I got people believing in my ideas. So, but I was looking for it, right? I wasn't
Yeah.
sitting in my chair. Oh, my life is not
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean? We need
Yeah.
to find, a way to go and, as I like to say, because I do have a wellness workshop that I do, that we still have a plan to do together. That when you don't have a reason to wake up, to leave your bed in the morning, that's when you need to change, right? You
Yeah.
gotta do something about it.
Yeah. I think it's always staying in action too. I mean, it's not to say to take moments, you need those breaks to kind of just take a step back, but to always be like, okay, let's get up. What can I do to move forward in this? Like, is there, and keep moving toward that end
Exactly.
goal, right? So it kind of so, like, I guess the next thing we kind of talked about this, but some triumphs or successes that you've had. I mean, you've already shared some really great things that are happening with making your passion a reality. The cohort and going to Toronto, and then the thing with Soul. So, is there anything else, like, in terms of triumphs or successes that you've experienced along this journey?
I was invited to another documentary festival in England, in a
Oh,
small city close to Manchester. That will be
okay.
in June, a week in June as well. But I still don't have the confirmation because they invited
Okay.
me, but it needs to be funded, right? Because I
Yeah.
cannot afford right now. But let's see. They like my project as well. So you see, I still think that I got something here. I'm gonna get somewhere at some point.
That's
So that's
awesome.
exciting too. About my passion, keep writing. If Because I know sometimes people say, I don't have time. Just write a word,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Write a phrase on your cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone these days, right?
Yeah,
Don't miss the opportunity, because that's when the ideas come from. It's like a thread, a small thread that you need to, keep pushing it. Don't let it
yeah,
go, because
yeah,
we never know what can happen.
mhm. Yeah, exactly. Um, and kind of our last point of talking today is how has living your passion, like how has, diving into like writing and I mean you kind of mentioned that you're kind of like journaling and it's a kind of like your therapist, like your therapy,
Yeah.
writing in your journal, but how has living your passion and doing all these things transformed your wellness?
Well, in a very positive way, as I said. I think that before I start working really with the seriously with the documentary, I didn't sleep well. I had issues sleeping all night. The feeling that waking up in the morning, right? What am I doing? Is this
Yeah,
what I wanted to do with my life? I'm aging. We're all aging, right? I want to do something different, and then that's the idea that to spark the light in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I keep writing, I'll do this. I have classes because I've been doing classes at night
yeah,
as well. So I've been doing working on a diet. I'm doing more exercises. I'm planning to do yoga and things like that. I think that overall, that's the well-being that makes you feel better, right? You feel
yeah,
more connected with, I try to do volunteer work as well within the community. I worked in a workshop for youth filmmakers.
That's cool, yeah.
It was an impressive session, and giving back to the community. Teaching is something that makes us feel better. Sometimes when you volunteer, better than maybe the whoever is getting the service
Yeah,
from. And I think that's pretty much what I've been doing, being
yeah,
connected with myself, with the community, and try to learn things all the time. I think you can see a few different letters
yes,
on my back here. I'm learning Korean language. Okay, I do love Korean movies, but the truth is that I've learned that if you learn a language outside your vocabulary, you target parts of your brain that could be targeted by Parkinson or, you
okay,
know,
yeah,
any
that's cool.
kind of disease like that. And I have in my family. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to learn something different. So I try to learn a word every day. So you see,
Nice.
I try to keep my mind busy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I do find starting, like I said, from last year, this path of being entrepreneur and starting my business, I have done the most self healing, like inner healing, than I've ever had in my life because I don't know how or why, but I just like I've gotten more connected, and I think you've kind of said that, more connected with myself and
Yes.
knowing myself more, which I think is like awesome. Like, and being okay with all parts of myself, right? Even that inner critic.
Sometimes,
No, even that inner critic
right?
within being like, okay, I know she's a part of me, but let's try to be positive today, right?
Yes.
So yeah, like I think for me, that has been something with living this passion. I've done a lot of inner work and also getting to know myself better. Um, and that's, to me, amazing within itself so far. Like,
Uh,
um,
I'm really excited for you because, yes, I've been part of that journey as well. I've seen everything that
yeah,
you've been through, so I'm excited
yeah,
for you.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is like, this was I think, like I said, I've had this episode planned from the beginning, but I think it was meant to be for this week. Like, and that's something so cool that I've also throughout this year have noticed when things just certain timing lines up and it's like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, and it's like, it kind of shocks me that, okay, this wasn't the right timing for this, but like I said, even doing this episode this week, like when I went through all the stuff I went through this week, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing an episode on passion this week." So I was like, "That's going to be great."
That's
So
amazing.
so yeah, it's I find my episodes sometimes align with what I'm going through, which is amazing on its own. I think it was last month or earlier this month. Now I can't remember. There was one on mindset that I did, and it was also a pivotal point, like for me too, like just with my guest sharing her story. And I feel like it kind of made me wake up too. And then just kind of, yeah, it changed a lot of things for me. So yeah, anyway, it's been really great.
That's really interesting, right?
But well, we are at our time. I knew we would go over a little, but that was to be expected because I was very excited for this episode. Like I could probably talk. We could probably talk for another half hour
Oh,
on
sure.
this. So maybe we'll have to do a part 2 of Purposeful
Yay.
Passion.
Yes.
Um like maybe this summer once you hear back from those things. That'd be exciting, right?
Yes.
That'd be great.
I love that. Yes,
Um
please.
We'll do that. So yeah, I want to thank Maria for joining us today and being on this episode about purposeful passion. I always like to end with the guests either sharing some exciting news, which I think you've shared so much exciting news already, or promoting anything that you want to promote.
Probably my documentary. I do have a website. It's
Okay.
crossingbordersfilm.com.
Okay.
If
Perfect.
people want to go and check, it's pretty cool. Of course, it's mine, right?
Yes. That's
But
awesome.
I have more information about it, and I think that will be awesome if people just see it.
Yeah, yeah, that's exciting. And I'll make sure to put like you can send me those
The
that
link.
information. I'll put it in the descriptions
Awesome.
so that people can go directly to it.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks for having
All right.
me. It was a
Yes.
pleasure, and I hope we
Thank
can
you for
have more
coming on.
conversation.
Yes, for sure. Thanks again for joining, and thanks for to everyone who tunes into this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again, and until next time.
See you next time. Bye.